Hi Dance Magazine readers, welcome back to Dance Magazine's YouTube channel. My name is Haley Hilton and I am a writer here at Dance Media, and this is the Begin Again vlog, where I am chronicling my return to the dance industry after 9 years off with a chronic health condition. And today, unfortunately, we are talking about injuries because, you guessed it, I have a minor injury. Okay, just to start this off, if I could go back in time, I would do one thing very differently that I think could really benefit my dancing generally, and I want to share this here and now just in case you're in this situation that I was in, and you can use this advice and apply it for yourself so you don't find yourself in my same pickle. So I wish that I had met with a PT before I dove into intense training again back in September, October, when I was really starting to take class again. I wish so badly I had talked to a PT. And Nancy Bielski at the time had recommended her PT to me. She said, okay, you're coming back, you should meet with this PT. I know you're not injured yet, but I recommend it. And at the time I was like, man, like, I feel like I'm just like throwing money out the window to take class, to film my reels, to do voice lessons, to do literally everything, rent studio space. Like, this is so expensive to try and dance again. This is a crazy barrier to entry. I was like, I'm not gonna pay for PT unless I'm injured. Well, we ended up here anyway, spending the money anyway. So I wish I had gone back before, because I think I would be spending less time in PT now than I was then, than I would have had I gone then. Okay, so here's what happened. Back in October, I started feeling like a little bit of discomfort in my right big toe. Back in high school, I fractured my left foot at the base of my second metatarsal, which is like, it's your toe, but it's like at the top of your arch, kind of. And if you're a doctor and I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Anyway, I fractured that, so anytime I feel foot pain, I get a little nervous. I'm like, But it was just a little bit of pain. It wasn't impacting my dancing, and it was only when I was in releve. So I'd feel it, especially when I would be at the bar doing like a passe releve balance, trying to hold it, or when I would do a pirouette, or if I would put on my laducas and put on heels, because there was that weight. So it seemed like it was like weight on that big toe was not comfortable. But in a lot of ways, I was like, I've got aches and pains coming back. I haven't done this in a long time. Like, of course there's going to be some things. It'll go away. It did not go away. But the thing is it didn't like really get worse. Like, it was still there. It was always bugging me. I felt like I couldn't get my left like passe balance at all. I'm like typically a pretty okay turner, but my left side was just not coming back the way my right was. And I started to be like, I wonder if it's because I'm compensating because I'm feeling like pain on my big toe. Anyway, finally, fast forward to February, when I am like fully taking full class in my point shoes. Now that I have my new point shoes that I love, I've gotten ramped up, and of course, being in my point shoes, like all that weight and all that pressure is making whatever pain I had before exponentially worse. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get worried it could be like a stress fracture. So I run to the doctor, and he did an x-ray, and he's like, you're good. No fractures. We're good there. He said, but I think it might be tendonitis. When I do like a Barbie toe, my right foot can't move as far as my left foot. Like, it's lacking mobility, and it feels like kind of swollen.
Okay, so here my toe's pointing. As I pull back, you can tell that this one moves further back than this one.
He gave me a cortisone injection. It didn't take any of the pain away. It didn't solve the problem at all. And he was like, let's have you go to PT, and we'll meet back in a few weeks. So Nancy recommended I go see Heidi Green, who's a physical therapist. She was on tour with Lion King. She's a dancer herself. She really understands how dancers' bodies work. And oh my gosh, it's a game changer. She knows all the terminology. She knows what tiny muscles are being engaged, how I'm engaging them in a way that like a non-dancer wouldn't know, even though of course there's good non-dancer PTs. Like, she just understands so much. And she had me like start by doing like a forward fold down, and she could see like just imbalances in my hips and different things. And she looked at me holistically, and she's like, okay, like, I understand that your doctor thinks it could be tendonitis. It could be. But then she drew like a circle on a paper of like and wrote toe. And then she had a bunch of arrows going in, and she said there are all these potential things that could be causing it, that we need to address. And so she's looking at my body holistically because she says it's all interconnected. She had me walk and she's like, you're doing funky stuff. Like, funky stuff is happening, which of course it is. Of course it is, because I haven't danced in a long time. And then I'm like, I'll just jump in after 10 years at 27 and assume that all is perfect. I was wrong. I should not have done that. Don't do that. So she is now having me go meet with her once a week, where she comes in and she like does a lot of massage. I'll cut to a video where she's explaining what she's doing with my body to show.
Okay, I'm on my way to PT. I'm super excited to take you guys along with and see what we have to learn from her.
I do a lot of soft tissue mobilization. I'm doing a lot of trying to correct any asymmetries that you have, whether it's just in your alignment, whether it's joint mobilization issues, if I find that a joint is restricted, anywhere up the chain of that leg on that side that's injured, or even on the other side, I'm gonna work to correct those asymmetries.
And then on top of that, she has me come home, she has me do strengthening exercises.
I am working on strengthening. If I find something is weak, we're gonna strengthen it. If I find something that looks like it needs a little bit more stability, we're gonna work to specifically do exercises that will stabilize that segment.
To start, we have TheraBand exercises she gave me. So, apparently, my right hip is a disaster. So, she's having me use a TheraBand. She said she didn't want too much resistance. She gave me a green one. She doesn't want me to dip back. She wants me on top of it, and then just like simple clamshells. She says they're not her favorite exercise, but she wants me to do them anyway. 10 slow up and down. Oh, and she says that I point my feet too much. Like, that's my instinct, is to point, and she wants me to relax all of my muscles not all of them, but relax the muscles that are overworked when I'm dancing so that they get a break outside of it.
All right, so you are making sure that your feet are in a place where they are not too far behind you and they're not too far out in front of you, and you are just lightly holding the ball in place there. Feet are nice and parallel. You're gonna slowly raise your heels up off the ground. You're making sure that you're tracking the front of your ankle right over the space between your first two toes. So you control that on the way up, and then you control it on the way down, still watching that tracking. Good.
She has me ice my toe, but she doesn't want me to do like just an ice bath so my whole foot gets iced. She wants me to ice just a very specific portion of my foot. So I have an ice cube. She was telling me to use like a Dixie cup and fill it up with water and then peel back and hold on to the Dixie cup. And I just haven't had a chance to go to Target and get Dixie cups. So I've just been using paper towel and ice. And she wants me to go, sorry, feet are gross. If this grosses you out, I apologize. She wants me to ice all around the foot. I don't know if you can see that. She wants me to ice all around this big toe, and she wants me to do it, she says, until it's numb. And she has me like roll out and do a lot of massage. She just asked me what kind of massage tools I have at my disposal, and I have this like knockoff Theragun. And she said to use it, that's a great option. So she wants me to massage up this side here. She feels like this is an important part where it's really tight. Then up in my knee, she's been really going in. And then up above as well, all the way up my hip. And honestly, it seems like just like full body massage is what she's recommending.
And then she'll have me roll out my back with the ball, and she says it's better to do it against a wall instead of the floor because you can just like move your body into the correct positions. So like for up here on my back, I'll just like set it right behind, and then I'll roll with it until I find like I found a knot right there already, and I'll roll it out on that knot for a bit. Most importantly is my hips. I stick this down here on my hip, and then I just roll. Just roll with it.
So she's having me do these exercises. She's having me meet with her. She's having me stay off of jumps and releve on my right foot for 2 weeks, she said. And I was like, okay, 2 weeks and I'm back. And she's like, well, 2 weeks at least. And I'm like, I'm trying to stay like fun and lively and chill about this. It's no big deal, right? It's no big deal. But I mean, 2 weeks in the grand scheme of things really does feel like nothing at this point. 2 weeks in high school would have felt like, oh no, 2 weeks, I'm gonna be so behind. Now it's like, my body will come back, it'll be fine. But if it extends for a long time, it's a bummer, because I've been off for so long and I'm starting to feel progress, and I still feel like there's a long way to go, and there are goals that I knew would be hard to chase, but I'm feeling how hard they are to chase right now. To make matters of auditioning and the grind that we talked about last month worse, let's add an injury. I'm bummed about it. It's unfortunate. But I also feel good about meeting with this PT because I do have high hopes. Maybe through working with her and developing strength and exercising and finding, you know, those minute muscles that need improving, I'm hoping my dancing will improve. That this is something that ends up being a blessing in disguise. I'm going to choose to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to cry. And instead of cry today, I'm going to have a good attitude. I'm about to head off to a ballet class for Nancy's class. The trouble is like paying for a class where I'm gonna have to leave after Adagio. It's kind of a pain.
Okay, I'm on my way to class. My hair is falling out. I'm being a really sloppy ballerina today. Ooh. I feel like, dear, people are watching me film. I'm not at this point of vlogging where I feel fully comfortable vlogging in public. Anyway, I just couldn't get myself to do the full bun today. I typically do, but don't worry, I'm in my leotard and tights, and it's pretty chill in there. People, that is loud. I don't know why I'm recording this. I'll see you in a bit. Oh, guys, I'm bummed out. Ugh. Okay. Sorry, I had to pause my rant because I realized you wouldn't be able to hear me. Back to why I'm bummed. So I walk in to take Nancy's class knowing that I'm only gonna go through Adagio and then I'm gonna leave because I'm not gonna injure my foot because that's what my physical therapist told me to do. But I go and I sit down at the bar and I feel like there are a lot of dance celebs who come and take Nancy's class and it's so fun and I love it. Like Sarah Lane is in class all the time and she is just amazing. I sit down and who comes and sits right next to me on the other side of the bar? It's Lauren Lovett. I love her so much. She was Dance Mag's March 2018 cover star. And then who comes right after to stand behind her is Indiana Woodward, who is our current March 2022 cover star. So I guess that's not current anymore, but our March 2022 cover star. And they start chatting with me and they're like, yeah, we never got to stand by each other in class when we were in the company. And so we decided to schedule class to take together. And they were stunning. It was so gorgeous and it was so fun. And I was so inspired. They were just like such a light and so happy to be there. And I loved seeing, watching the two of them and Sarah dance throughout class up through Adagio and seeing like how different they all are from each other, but how gorgeous and incredible they all are. And I feel like it's such a good reminder and message that like you really don't want to be like anyone else, because if Lauren Lovett danced like Sarah Lane, then we wouldn't get Lauren Lovett. But if Sarah Lane danced like Indiana Woodward, we wouldn't get Sarah Lane. And they're just all so special. So that was good. But the bummer is that because of this injury, I had to leave class early. I couldn't finish jumps and like thrive in class with them and be inspired. And I had to leave and I'm bummed about it. And I just wish that this injury wasn't a thing. I wish that I wasn't having to deal with it. I'm feeling stressed not knowing when I can come back because I can already see like, okay, I need the stamina from doing jumps and I need the technique that's building from doing all these things and I can't have it right now.
All right, so that's the situation. That's what we're dealing with this month. And honestly, like I've been bummed about it, but I also think it's like so relatable. I feel like everybody at some point has a minor ache and pain, and if you're gonna be coming back older, which I keep rolling my eyes because 27 feels like this should not be older, but it is in this industry. And if you're coming back older and you're coming in and throwing yourself into this like We just have to be smart. And I thought I was being smart. Like I was like, oh, I've eased into this. I'm being responsible. I'm not jumping back into my point shoes. But really, like, without an expert's advice, just like anything in life right now, like if you're not talking to an expert, you're not being as responsible as you could be. So, cheers to being responsible again, to utilizing expert advice and growing because of it. Don't make my mistake. Just get with your PT right away if you can. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Hopefully next month I'll have better news. Hopefully next month will be more fun and more exciting and not deal with injury. I have a feeling it will. I have a feeling good news is around the corner. I hope you guys have good months. I love you. Thank you. Mwah.